Hey, we are live. It's 7 o'clock straight up. I'm Dave Globin. This is Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live. And if you want to be live with us, you can watch on the Dave Globin profile, which has a live chat. You can watch on the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group, which has a group chat. And you can go over to YouTube and watch on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, which also has a live chat. So it is up to you where you go. Give me a minute here to play with this. There we go. That one is all set. And like I said, if you're interested in being on the broadcast, all you have to do is come into the Dave Globin live chat. Dave Globin profile live chat. The link is on the screen. Actually, if you're over in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group watching us there, the link is on the screen right there as well. If you're over on YouTube, you have your own YouTube channel live chat, and you can come in there. Yeah, coming in right now. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion joins us for tonight's festivities. What is new?
How you doing, Dave?
Michael? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
All right.
About the only news I had a chance to catch. Nice to see you. About the only news I caught before I had a chance to bring us on tonight was that Ray Epps from FBI fame at the January 6th event has been charged. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he'll be tried and convicted of anything, but that was about the latest news that I read that people might be interested in. My only question was, did the $85 million jet, did the $85 million jet turn up yet?
Yeah, I think they found it yesterday.
Okay. Now, what happens? Does anything happen to the pilot? Or
it depends on what he did wrong. It depends on what he did wrong. And whoever else, if they did something wrong, then yeah, they get in trouble. You lose a $80 million plane or more. There's bound to be a scapegoat. And chances are it's going to be the pilot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the government has an insurance policy on it. The plane went down. They're going to get $85 million. The taxpayers aren't going to get $85 million back. I assume the government will just buy another plane. If that's what they do with that,
have another one built.
Yeah. Now, is that some?
I know that. Well, if you wreck a Humvee or something like that, they'll send you a new one. If the military, that's a lot different than an airplane, of course. But I don't know how it works with airplanes, to be truthful, but eventually they're going to get their plane back. That I know. And we're going to pay for it.
Of course.
So
yeah, that $85 million plane will cost us $170 million.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, they have a certain amount made every year. They have a certain amount of parts made every year. All that. And it's going to be, you may never hear what actually happened because people forget and the military just, they
doesn't have to tell us. Doesn't have to tell us.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Well,
the military has used the press to their advantage since the dawn of time. They tell the press just enough for the public, but the stuff that's really going on is on the ground. And that's why, like when we're in a war, you don't want to hear from the generals. You want to hear from the guy on the ground, the sergeants and that kind of thing, because otherwise, you're not getting the real story. It's that simple.
Yeah. Robin Brunson is watching. She says hello, Dave and Jerry. Susan Kraft is watching. And Robin Brunson is watching. Hopefully, if people are watching in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group, we made a change and your names should probably come up on the screen properly, hopefully. If not, there'll be a lot of Facebook watchers watching us tonight. Jen Woodruff cannot join us tonight. She has responsibilities at home that she's trying to get done. And I hope she gets them done. Robin went over to Fat Cup this morning for coffee. Where is Fat Cup?
That's good coffee. I think she sent me some one time. That is excellent. That is excellent coffee. I'm telling you. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's always been a goal to find a repacker that would package a good coffee in a Boogie with a bag that makes a pot. But, we can't afford that kind of stuff. But coffee is the most important beverage of the morning.
It's bad. I agree. And I got to tell you, the stuff they sell in the store anymore sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
So, not a fan. Not a fan at all.
And I've never been a fan of paying $7.50, $15 at Starbucks or any of those kinds of places. It just couldn't do it. Just couldn't bring myself to do it. Especially,
I had an iced tea at Starbucks one time. It's the only time I've ever been in a Starbucks. I had an iced tea, and it's not even real iced tea. It's like water, and then they squirt some stuff into it, and then they squirt some more stuff into it and hand it to you. It was the worst tasting crap I ever had. So I have no use for any of that.
Yeah. My father, when he had the coffee bars, would make a big 5-gallon glass bottles, like mason jars of. He took a bunch of different tea bags and tied them together, and got the most best flavors you could imagine out of doing it that way. But to me, if you're gonna sell me a cup of water with ice and spray a liquid into it, you ain't getting much for that for me. I can do it at home. But,
no. I'd much rather. We have an iced tea maker. I'll make it here. I'm good with that. I don't know. Everything today is overpriced and way overpriced and completely crappy. I gotta tell you, food doesn't taste like it used to. Nothing tastes the way it used to. Nothing feels the way it used to. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't good things, because there are, but the big one with me is cars. Cars are not anything like they used to be. You can't work on them unless you know all kinds of crap, or you're willing to do like me and sit there and watch about 25 videos till you figure out everything, and then you're basically just a parts changer then. Because I don't understand the computers and all this and that and the other. I just I don't know. We have been forcefully trained to take less for more for years and years and years and years and years. To the point we are out now bagging and checking out our own groceries. You go to a bank, there's like 2 tellers and there's 400 people. Go to Walmart, they got like 3 tellers and there's 1,000 people in the store. We have been trained to take less for more money. And it's not working out. for anybody.
And I hear it is the 4th day of the United Auto Workers strike, and I'm not sure how I feel. And maybe you can help me understand how I should feel. Do they need more because of the job that they do, or are they just being greedy and they want more?
They got
Because go
they're
ahead.
being greedy. They want 20% more, or they were offered 20% more pay. That's a big offer.
Yeah.
But they want a 4-day work week, and the companies cannot last on a 4-day work week. It's just not going to work. And
No.
even the Ford came out even and said that. I mean, we'll go out of business, and what good is a union if you don't have anywhere to go to work? The unions are way, way, way. I mean, I don't think it's right to offer them 20%. I'd offer them 5% and, start hiring scabs or something. I don't know, because it's ridiculous. Because what are they going to want next time? You give somebody 20% raise. Next time they're going to want 25 or 30 or 40. Why not 40? And we cannot afford cars now. A brand new truck is close to $100,000. There's not a truck in the world worth that, a pickup truck. I can build one better than the ones they sell with all the stuff in it for $20,000. You just got to buy an old vehicle and rebuild it. But they're being greedy, is what it is.
Do you think
it's just going to cause a problem?
Do you think, again, it will lead to the same problems in the past, like when they couldn't get the chips from China, used car values just went sky high, and dealers were selling used cars for more than they could get for new cars just because they could get it? They had people that would spend crazy money for old, reliable cars.
They're already doing that. Used cars now are ridiculous. I drive trucks. I don't drive cars. If I wanted a car, I have a car today. Okay, you can get a car relatively cheap, and you get financed even with bad credit. Okay.
Yep.
But trucks, they're selling 5-year-old trucks with over 100,000 miles on them for $40,000-$50,000.
Yep.
Simply because of like an F-350 or something like that. I got to tell you, I don't give a damn what's inside that truck. Over 100,000 miles is a lot of miles, especially in 4 or 5 years. Okay.
Yep. That's about 25. Yeah, well, 100,000 is 25,000 miles a year over 4 years. That's a lot of mileage, considering that most people don't usually drive their car more than about 12,000 a year.
Exactly.
If that.
Exactly.
If that.
And that's what it's always been, is 12,000, around 12 to 15,000 a year.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, it was that. I mean, now all of a sudden you're telling me $25,000, $30,000 a year, and me and both myself, when I go in, and the salesman have no idea what kind of miles those are either. I mean, you could look at a brand new truck or a used truck, right? And they got it all shined up. There's a few dings in it, but nothing major. They slapped some new tires on it, but that engine can't talk to you and tell you, like, this guy drove me across the country 5 times a freaking month or something. It can't. You don't know what kind of mile. You have to figure that they are hard miles because, then you got the salesman telling you, oh, you can't kill these engines. I'll tell you what engines you used to not be able to kill. The 350.
Yep. We lost Jerry for a second. Internet must be acting up. Hopefully we will get him back. We will buffer. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Let's see. Like I said at the beginning, Jen Woodruff will not be with us tonight. She has things she has to do. She can't come out and play. Let's see. Stephen Tolliver, Crazy Horse, was invited to come by. Let's see. Nikki Young, the T-Man, was welcome to come by. Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, was invited. We invite everybody. I'm known for when it's time, I just sit and look and see who's on Messenger, and I send out invites, and I hope that people come. If it's just me because the weather's bad for everybody to get here, or we can't get a whole lot of other people here, it's not going to be that particularly long a broadcast. Robin, I will get you an address on Messenger as soon as the broadcast is done. I would give it to you now over the broadcast, but I don't have a P.O. box yet. And Boogie with the Bull security does not like it when people arrive unannounced because they claim they heard my address over a broadcast. But yeah, so jokingly, I'll get you a broadcast. I will get you an address as soon as we are done. And if they want, we're always, like I said, I'm looking for people who want to take. I have just a real simple, easy skeleton holding a cup of coffee that says Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine on it. And, it'd be fun sometime to find a roaster that will put it in 1-pot bags for a reasonable price. And the reason I say 1 pound bags is because back in my real coffee drinking days, I would make a 12-cup pot, pour in the contaminants of what I wanted, cream and sugar or whatever else I wanted to put into it, and then just drink it out of the pot. They spoiled me in my radio days. I had a pot warmer in the studio because I was the only one who they could trust to not spill it all over the place. So tell me what is new and exciting in your life. If you're watching on the Dave Glover profile, if you're watching on the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk page, if you're over on YouTube watching on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, you can tell me what is going on, what is new and exciting in your life over there. Let's see. We did send a link to Michael Anthony, and maybe he will drop by, or maybe it'll just be Tuesday night by myself, and we'll rant a little and talk a little and read live comments. I did make a change that I thought would bring everything onto one screen, but let's see. We have Robin Brunson in the live chat on the Dave Wogan profile. We know that Susan Kraft is watching. That usually means that she is either watching here on my profile or she is watching on the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group, and I appreciate that. Karen Hackley, my buddy from Texas, the Boogie with the Bull ambassador from the great state of Texas, is in the house. Karen, a pleasure to have you here. She keeps us up to date on what's going on in Texas and watches live when she can, comments along, and if she can't watch us when we're live, she watches it as a podcast, which I've been known to do myself if I can't watch it live. But usually I'm always able to watch it live. So as I said, the link is up, and if anybody wants to hit the link and come on in, we can talk about things. The important things that I had today were, like I said, I heard that Ray Epps, either FBI or not FBI, but somehow involved in the January 6th events of the day, was charged today. I don't know if it will go anything further. And there, popping back with us, is Jerry Michaels. And your mic is off.
Yeah, this doesn't work this time. I'm just going to give it up for tonight. My internet is so bad, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what's the weather down there tonight? What's your weather down there
fine
tonight?
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
And no, puffy clouds, clear sky, nice sun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, uh, I don't know. Let's see. 2 new comments. Robin Brunson will tell them house or Colombian, and we have a grinder. No, we don't have a grinder, so we buy Maxwell House already ground. Only because that's
the blue one. That's the blue one, right? That's the blue
the blue
one,
can.
Right?
Yeah, the blue can.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's what we
or
drink.
it comes in a plastic thing now. We used to buy the plastic thing, and then when it was empty, we'd buy the cans and pour the cans into that plastic thing, which was easier. We have a K-cup thing.
We used the plastic thing for grease, from like bacon or something like that. We pour it in pour it in there. It works pretty. They just throw it in the fire and burn it.
Yep. It doesn't fire. It doesn't fire back at you while you're burning it.
Nah.
No.
Well, the only thing that might one time, right? And I did this on accident. I put a can of spray foam in there that I didn't realize I had done. I don't know if it fell in or I did it by accident or something. And obviously that's a sealed. It's a can. It's a spray can. So,
right.
Yeah, that blew up. And it melted the foam inside. So when it finally blew, the foam came out like a liquid, hit me in about 23 places, and burned the hell out of me. So I'm very careful now.
Yeah. So we know. There go the dogs. Let me. Actually, to be short, people may be walking in. I actually realized that StreamYard claims they have a noise canceling thing, so we tried that for the first time to see if that helps.
Yeah, crap don't work.
Yeah,
it might work if everybody was wearing headphones like you are.
Yeah,
I don't have to wear them because I'm on a PC. That's all. I don't even know where mine are. I think my wife has them.
Yeah, I usually don't. I usually don't, just because I never liked wearing them. I'll wear earbuds, or I'll wear the headphones if my wife is in the room and she's doing something and she doesn't want to listen to the broadcast while I'm doing it. Then generally, I don't. I don't even like wearing them in radio. Hated it. It just feels,
No, I don't care for them at all.
They're not.
And the earbuds.
They're not.
The earbuds fall out of my ear, so I'm constantly doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm back in the day, it seemed to me, everybody had headphones back in the day. There was a wire, one of them telephone wires attached to it. You got to plug in the jack to the stereo or the radio or whatever you had.
Yeah.
But they seemed more comfortable back then. The ones I have now, it's like they're trying to crush my head, which is not easy because it's made of rock and shit. And I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they had the nice soft cushions and everything, and you wear them, and you could actually almost fall asleep with them.
Yeah.
And the ones today don't seem that way. Maybe they're
missing.
Not. I spent like $30 on my headphones like you got. Yeah. So that may be why. I don't know.
Yeah, I spent. These are JBCs, and they were originally priced. They only had one pair left. I think I got them for $35. I don't know. Just
Yeah. I remember when JVC was really good. I mean, they were like the top of the game, man.
Good
What was that
speaker.
other
Yep.
one? Started with a K.
Ken,
Started with a K. There was another one. Everybody back in
Kenwood.
the 70s had it
Kenwood.
stereo. Kenwood. Yeah, everything
Kenwood.
was Kenwood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And
I
then
don't think, I guess they're out of business.
Pioneer was,
Years.
yeah. Pioneer was a good brand, but I think they got bought by somebody else. And then
they all get bought by someone else, and then all of a sudden, all the components start getting made in China, and then the whole thing gets made in China. And the next thing you know, it's everybody's out of work who was working there, and now they just have them shipped in. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think made in China has made this country better. I got to be truthful, because I do a lot of, like, I put a backup camera on my truck. I've put all kinds of stuff on my truck. And cigarette lighter, you name it, I put it on my truck because my truck came with nothing. Okay, and the stuff is all made in China. The wires, you end up having to rewire it with real wires because the wires that come with it are garbage. And I just don't see where made in China is helping anybody really. Making more work for me, I can tell you that.
hang on just a second. Michael, I'm sorry. I sent you the same link I sent everybody else. If it's not working, I can't help you. Or you can come to let me see.
Put it in the
get it on.
Hold on a second. I can send it to him. Hold on.
All right.
Let me see if I can send it to him.
Yeah.
It'll make it easier if my internet goes out again.
Yeah, he says it's not.
Let's see, Dave. And then forward to Michael.
Anthony.
Michael Anthony. Tell him I just sent him one. Tell him
Michael,
I just sent you. I just sent you one.
Yeah, Michael, if you're watching, Jerry just sent you the link. I'm looking at it, and I looked at what I sent him, and it's the same link, but he's saying he's getting a 404 error, which means that the page isn't opening for him. So I don't know.
Yeah, one of the numbers was out. He had a really good show the other night. I mean, I really enjoyed listening to it. He had Nick was on, and he had what the hell's her name? She's a friend. She's on my friends list. I never talked to her for years now, but
Beth McCord.
This lady on, and then Beth McCord, yeah. And then this other guy who wrote books and stuff on ghosts, aliens.
Sean Kelly.
Sean
Kelly. Yeah, he's from
he's
from I don't know if it's Pittsburgh Paranormal or if it is Philadelphia Paranormal, but it's a big group in Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
So
because he has a radio show that comes on in New Orleans, he does with a guy from New Orleans. I guess they do it kind of like this or something. I don't know, but he's
smart guy.
He seemed like a cool guy. Yeah, he seemed like a cool guy. He really did. It's good, great show. It's one of the better ones I've seen in a while. And I do shows, so that should tell you something.
You do?
Our show runs off. Our show runs off the rail about 4 minutes in and it never gets back. So it's just what it is. I don't know. Story. But it's something. Biden. I got to tell you, that $6 billion to Iran on 9/11 was just, I didn't think anybody could disrespect 9/11 more than Obama did, but
there you are.
Biden managed to do it somehow. There he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there he is.
What is
There he
code?
is.
What is code 404?
It means that either Facebook didn't. It means that StreamYard, the link wasn't acknowledged. The link that you put in wasn't acknowledged by StreamYard as an active link. But I don't know. It's right in front of me in the face, and it's the same. I looked at what I sent you, so it could have just been a momentary glitch that they're trying to prevent us from doing what we do.
If you guys,
I think that would be it. Prevent us.
Just if you guys would just listen. I try to tell you, Dave, 5 times I do this. You go down to invite, you click on invite, and a big thing comes up, and you just push copy, and then you copy and paste it wherever you want it. You don't have to write the whole damn thing out. I keep telling you, you don't listen.
I understand, but for years there's been a block where StreamYard can't send the link to Michael over Messenger. I don't know what the problem is. So I've always had to send it to him. I've always had to send it to him. Right. But it's not a StreamYard thing. They tell me that it's not a problem on their end. And they tell me that they just use Messenger as an option to send links. So I don't know. I'm just a stupid guy here in Fleming Island, Florida.
We all know Michael's a bad person. We all know Michael.
Michael, did you know that Michael Anthony is a bad person?
He's constantly in trouble with somebody in Facebook. Facebook calls me all the time saying, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Yeah.
Did you know, Michael, that you're a bad person on Facebook?
Facebook calls me all the time and asks me, what's wrong with this Michael guy?
Well, he's in their mind probably some idiot in the world, making trouble for them, I don't know.
I got a friend request today, and I was looking at the girl's profile, and she's everything you want in one. No. I know she's everything that you want in one of your groups, and so I send her a friend request. She comes back and she tells me that she works for Facebook, and that they asked her to reach out to me to help me with problems that I'm having. Then she admitted that she doesn't work for Facebook. But I'm thinking to myself, where the hell did she get all the information?
Yeah.
It used to be when he first launched Facebook in 2009, they were not allowed to have in their profile that they worked for Facebook.
Is you block them. My block list is about 78 pages long.
I did. But I did block her. But the problem was that by the time she admitted she didn't work for Facebook, 95%. No, 95% of what
you take everything on Facebook too seriously. Stop taking it so seriously.
Well,
you're not listening.
Yeah, I've tried to tell Dave that for years.
Why would you talk to Dave? Why would you talk to this person? Just block them and move on. You're way too uptight about Facebook.
I did. No, I did end up blocking
Facebook. Just relax. Okay, listen. If they kick me off of Facebook, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen, Dave? If they kick me off of Facebook, my life is going to get exponentially better. That's what's going to happen. There is no way for your life not to get better getting kicked off of Facebook.
It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do.
Let it go. It's not that important.
It had nothing to do with worrying about getting kicked off of Facebook.
Good luck.
It was actually.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because you're way too uptight about Facebook.
Okay. Well, it had nothing.
It does have
particular
something
conversation.
To do with Facebook.
No. It had something to do with.
They're all over. I get them all the time. I call them hooker accounts.
Okay.
The hookers love me. I'm 60 years old and I got a 19-year-old hooker who wants me forever because she loves me. I
understand. And I enjoy playing with the trolls that think they work for Facebook. The problem was that this troll who was playing that she worked for Facebook had information that if she's a troll claiming that she works at Facebook, she wouldn't have. It wasn't anything that I was worried about getting kicked off of Facebook. They locked me out of my account one day last week.
Go, Dave. It's not that important.
Getting the answer to that particular question was because it had nothing to do with getting kicked off of Facebook. It had something to do. But anyway, Michael, what's going on in Pennsylvania tonight? In Pittsburgh.
David, I'm not taking sides here.
That's all you gotta do.
I didn't ask you if you were taking sides. We'll
I
move along. We'll move along. And we'll go
we're moving along. We're moving along.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on in Pittsburgh tonight, Michael?
I get it, Dave.
Don't worry about Facebook.
I get it, Dave.
Okay.
You gotta relax.
Okay. We won't worry about it. So we'll move along. Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. We'll move along. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's move. All right. I got my microphone up. What's happening in Pittsburgh? Same shit that's happening in your state. The same thing that's happened in the United States. I mean, we're looking at all the problems and issues, and they just keep getting deeper. But, it's everything that we've talked about the last couple of years, and the waves are coming. The nonsense keeps coming. Maybe we will see some type of impeachment proceedings now start to move. But what the fuck took you so long? Wake up here in Washington. Look, what we need, Dave, is laws placed to where we have control. And I've been using the term that came from Donald J. Trump, the one that he used to have on his show that said, "You're fired." And that's exactly what we need to put into some type of addendum when these people come into their office to serve the public, to serve us, you and me and everyone in America, we the people that make the difference, to pay the tax dollars that they get to squander and flaunder and corrupt with, that they can be fired without reason, without probable cause. We need to do something like that. And you gave me a thumbs up last night, and that's why I bring it up. But Dave, a fact is a fact. Government can no longer be trusted.
Okay. Unfortunately, because of the status of my brain, and it's been that long since I watched it, tell me what you were talking about at the moment I gave you the thumbs up. Not because I
just did.
The short memory. Okay. All right.
Okay, but I'll do it again. When I said we need laws in place last night to where we can control the narrative of the political side, and that's on both sides, left or right, that they can be removed and replaced and be told you are fired the minute we find anything that is corrupt, anything that is unjust, anything that is pedophilia, anything that is against the people of America.
But in order to do that, don't they have to agree to give control of the laws back to the people who they somehow got it, however they got it? I mean, Bill Muckler on his broadcast today did a broadcast that was great. He talked about we should repeal the 16th Amendment, no more income taxes, no more IRS. But I mean, what is the likelihood that even if we went to the ballot box on November 5th, 2024, and voted to repeal the 16th Amendment, eliminated the IRS, said we're not going to pay taxes anymore, won't they just figure out another way to squeeze money from us?
Well, right now, they'll just print money because they don't care what we think, do, or say. They'll be creative in ways, I'm sure, to carry on with their mission. A few 2-3 years ago, I said to everybody, one way to nip this in the butt is that we all say no, we all stand on, and we all just quit. Meaning like, don't go to work, don't pay taxes, put everything in. You can't even put money in escrow. You know what I mean? You really
Yeah.
can't, because you can't trust the banking institutions. But
Right.
the point is, if we were to shut them off, they have nothing to control. I don't know. Are there other ways? You know, we can look at the military for help, and everyone says that this big thing's going to happen. And I can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head right now. Was it Derek Arnold or something? Keeps saying that, you know, there was a funeral. It wasn't, this didn't happen this way at the inauguration with Biden. Yeah, I understand that there are facts that may be partially true. But the point is, we don't have a military that is concerned for we, the people of America. We have a military that's concerned to make sure that this new agenda gets pushed through, and they are going to help the narrative of that to happen. So how are we? Where are we? I mean,
so there isn't, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I always do, as I say, that there is, what people need to understand is there is not a military that is loyal to what they call Commander-in-Chief Donald Trump, and a military which is loyal to Commander-in-Chief, who some call President Joe Biden. Just one military, and the greater reality is that they're looking out for themselves as a benefit to the whole country than who they call daddy.
Yeah, well, I think that there are a lot of good people still within the military who probably still, without doubt, have a lot of respect for Donald Trump, without a doubt. But everybody, even those guys, no matter how many patches they have on their chest, have a fear of retaliation, of the strength that is behind this narrative and agenda for this new world order. And because of that, it puts them in a hard place. As bad as they may want to help, I don't see anything in the military coming to our aid. When you look in the skies and they're still spraying us and it's our own military, or you have, you know, directional energy weapon airplanes burning up a portion of a state, and more, and we can go on, and train wrecks and all these other things, and who's involved. And no, I don't think we have anything good about the military on our side. People go to work just like they commit to this job to be in the military. They go to work, they get instructions. Look, if they don't perform them, they're court-martialed and whatever else they do with people now these days. They're woke and dope. I mean, that's just the way it is. But not to say that Trump doesn't have support there. Somewhere underlying, there is support, but I think they're all waiting for that knock on heaven's door election to go through, and then they'll jump into some type of action to take care of what needs to be taken care of, because I think they even know at that point, this party, this agenda of the machine that is beating down America right now, has no intentions to give America back to we the people or to anybody who's elected.
I think you're right. Let me throw the question to Jerry. His internet, I assume, took him off, but he's back here. Jerry, I threw the question at Michael. I'm actually tired of conservative patriot, which is Republican, just what I call Republicans, telling me every day there is a military that is loyal to who they call Commander-in-Chief Donald Trump. And then there's a military who is loyal to Commander-in-Chief, which some people believe is President Joe Biden. Do you think that is kind of like Michael said? Do you think there are factions that are open, that are kind of following both? Or is there just military like you, Marines, who I believe got out of bed every day and did your job, and that's what you were there for?
Well, first of all, I want to say Michael Anthony is right. the military is for the one world order, whatever the hell you want to call it. And the reason for that is because they were built that way over the years. They were built by Obama firing combat veterans and putting college boys in there, and liberals, and using the military as a test tube, and the rest of it, to what we have now. The second thing I want to say to all the people that think the military is going to come to our rescue, they're not. And for all you constitutional people who keep talking about their oath and all that, it's unconstitutional for the military to have a coup in this country. I just thought I'd mention that, because I'm involved with this Constitution, take over the government. I've been listening to that crap for 10 years. I'm sick of it.
Right.
Right. In the Civil War, yes, some people actually, they were allowed to leave the Union Army to go fight for the South, simply because the Union Army didn't want them in there, as spies or whatever. Okay, there were some. There were, and if you put the whole number together, there were probably thousands. Unfortunately, the Union Army and the North had thousands and thousands more than ever left. So don't think everybody in the military is going to lay down their freaking guns or steal them and come fight on our side. It's not going to happen. Okay, I've been saying this for 10 years. Nobody wants to believe me. People get pissed off with me. What about their oath? Okay, my oath was to the United States of America when I took it. And until Washington moves out of the country, that's where it has to be. You have to follow those orders. Well, that's what Hitler did. Well, you know what? You're right. But the United States has committed war crimes in the past against other Americans, if you know anything about Civil War. So that will not change.
Yeah, they are the weapon we fight with.
As far as there being loyalty for Trump, you can. I don't care if you're loyal to Trump. Trump ain't the president. Okay, and if you disobey an order from somebody in the military, most people don't understand about the military is that they've never been in it. I have family members. Yeah, I don't care if you have family members. You have not been in the military. You don't truly understand what it's about. They give you an order, you follow it. Period. End of discussion. You have to like it.
That's
and
right.
9 times out of 10, you don't like it, but you go do it.
Yeah, there's no choice for that.
No, right.
It's yes, sir, and do it.
I think that's what, honestly, that's what kept me.
You want to argue with a general who tells you to go and you want to argue with a general who tells you to go and fight? Really? That's what you're going to do? You're going to argue with a friggin' general? No, you're not. Because that general is getting his orders from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who are getting their orders from the President of the United States. So, Lance Corporal Jerry over here, I'm not going to tell a general, fuck you, I ain't doing it. That ain't going to happen. Now, if he goes and tells me to kill 30 civilians, I don't know what I'd do. I suspect I would do the wrong thing for me, but the right thing in general. Okay. And, disobeying an order in a war of any kind is an executable offense. They can actually shoot you in a wartime if they want. They don't do it much anymore, right? Or at all. Matter of fact, they let traitors off now, apparently. But okay.
Oh yeah.
It does not matter who you're loyal to, especially the rank and file may be loyal to Trump and want Trump to be the commander in chief again. But the rank and file don't matter. It's the people like old General Miley and people like that. They're the ones that matter. What they say matters. And that's why they can be pissed off as they want.
And you're right. And that's why in the early stage of the transition, Mark Milley came on and made a point reference that Trump is no longer the president. And don't you forget that. But even with him committing treasons on Trump when Trump was president, as you said, Jerry, nobody's out to penalize anybody when they're from within this machine. And they're all protected. it's the innocent who are not protected. Don't even think.
Yep.
Don't even think.
That's correct.
Because we'll come after you if you do that. It's a sad dilemma. But I agree. I agree with Jerry on all of it.
First of all, when you join the military, you are technically government property. You know that thing we outlawed years ago, having people as property? You are government friggin' property. The end.
Yes, you are.
And you read your contract. Towards the end of the contract, it'll tell you you will do whatever we tell you to do, regardless of what we promised you. Okay, I read mine 3 days before I got out the first time, and that's what it said. It said, "Well, you'll do what we want. It makes no difference what you want." Basically, not in them words, but that's what it says. Basically, okay. And you are government property, so they can crush you in a second. And the lower down the totem pole you are, the easier it is to do.
And in some cases, as we've seen, they will even attack a general. Look what they did to General Flynn. I mean, they left a trail of examples everywhere so people understood the power, the political power of what this machine is and what comes from within it. But, it's legends of presidents who established this bullshit.
The military has always been a branch of politics. I don't care what country it is. I don't care what time it's in. Look at the Roman Empire. If the troops didn't like the guy in charge, they killed him. It was that simple. Look at what happened to Caligula. Okay? The military has always, you got to keep them happy. And we have a president for 4 years, so we can outwait the president, or 8 years. We can outwait the president. But look at who, Joe Biden goes and sees the military. He gets a polite clap. When Trump goes, they go nuts. Why? Because he knows that he actually cares about them. Okay? And it's not bullshit. Now, you look at all these guys on TV you see every day. Oh, former general, former FBI, former this. Why do you think they're all former and opening their mouth? Because they can't get in trouble. I got news for you. You talk shit even as a private in the military about Joe Biden enough times, they will court-martial you because he is the commander-in-chief. He's the very top of the chain of command. You can't do that. That's not allowed. Okay? If they catch you, you got problems. That's why every one of these generals you see are ex-CIA, ex-FBI, ex-all this. That's why they're all X on TV, because none of the current ones are going to come on TV and tell you the truth. The military is a mess, and people don't understand that. We can't get parts for planes. We can't get parts for vehicles. We can't get parts for tanks. Okay, the military is a mess. It is a pawn for politicians to play with on a board. Not for us. For their own gain. That's why we go to war, for other people's freedom instead of our own.
Agreed.
I think you're right.
So what's on your mind, Dave?
I'm listening and I'm learning a little bit more. I mean, I do agree. I mean, the only knowledge I have of the military is watching our son while he was in, and it's pretty much like you said, Jerry. They give you an order, they say jump, and you don't say how high, you just jump as high as you can. And but like I said, the whole ration of this part of the conversation tonight is, like I said, I'm just tired of people telling me that they think that Trump and his military are going to declare war on Biden and his military, and Trump's going to win. And I just, my reply is that the military is just not gonna get involved really, because until it's necessary. I go as far as to say that I don't think anybody who thinks civil war is the answer right now wants to go to war against the United States military. Even with $85 million worth of stuff they left in, even with $85 million worth of stuff they left,
Listen, if some hookabuck with an AR-15 wants to go up against anybody, I don't care who it is, in the United States military, they're more than welcome to do that, but you're going to die. Okay, it's that freaking simple. Okay, there's nothing else. You're going to die. Okay.
No, I mean, I don't have a gun, so if some guy in the military shows up at my house, go ahead, Jerry.
Well, you may want to do what he tells you. I don't know, but here's the deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The military is a reflection of the President of the United States. You see the difference in the military when Trump was in office as opposed to when Biden is in office. Okay, morale is down. They don't like the orders. They don't like guys dressing like girls in there. I can't imagine when I was in what would have happened to a guy who went out at night dressed like a woman. I cannot imagine it. I don't think the guy has survived, because you are told from the moment you join the military and go to boot camp on your first day, you are training to be a killer. You are training to be an assassin. You are training for one thing and one thing only, and that is to kill the enemy, period. And you're 18, 19 years old and you believe this crap. Okay. And I can't imagine that happening when I was in, but it is now. So it doesn't matter. Okay. It is a reflection of the President of the United States, and Biden is, I can't even, the words cannot, I don't have the words for Biden. He's just useless. And I just think,
okay.
The difference between I was in and when what we have now is that people were mentally stronger because of how we were raised. Okay. We were physically stronger because there wasn't internet. There were video games, but you actually had to go to them usually, unless you had Pong or something, but whatever. You were usually outside, screwing around, playing basketball, football, there's something, okay, riding bikes. Okay. And each generation seems to be getting weaker. And these are the same generations that are joining the military. Now, I'm not saying everybody in the military is mentally weak or are meant, not strong. What I'm saying is we're getting a lot more, and a lot of them are officers, and they dictate what each unit is. So if you have some woke officer in charge of a battalion, that battalion is going to reflect what he is. That's what officers do. They come in, they take command, and they command the way they think they should. At one point, not that long ago, half of the United States Army was not fit for combat. And we are supposed to be fit for combat every single day of the year. Okay, the military. Every single person in the military is supposed to be fit for combat, every unit. If they are called out, especially the Marines, because they can be called out within 24 hours and be anywhere in the world. Okay, so, you have to be ready. And we have units that are not. And I'm talking about regiments, and regiments are huge. It's not good. I'm not saying that they're not a good fighting force. What I'm saying is every war we have ever been in, it's not like we go in and mop up in 2 days and come home. It takes years. And you want to know why? Because the other side hates us here lately. And they're willing to die because they hate us so very much. Since Vietnam, where they sent children in with grenades to blow up GIs.
Yeah.
We keep fighting these people who are not afraid to freaking die for their cause. Right? And yes, we have the most technology. We have, the best weapons. We have all this stuff. There's no doubt. But explain to me how a pilot has a mishap, which I couldn't believe I read, okay, and bails out of an airplane, and we can't find the airplane. We need the public's help to find the airplane. We have stuff that can find airplanes that have been in the water since World War II, and we can't find this airplane. No, we did.
They all have a
but they
magic
needed the
box.
public's help apparently to do it.
Yeah. They all have a magic box.
And not only that, when that guy jumps out, the coordinates are already, they know the coordinates where he jumped out and everything else. So that plane is somewhere within those coordinates. Okay. A lot of times planes crash, the pilot watches the plane crash before he hits the ground. Now, I don't know what happened in this situation, but I have never heard the military come out and say, we need your help finding this. Not since Skylab, which was that crazy space thing that fell into the atmosphere and they were looking for pieces of it. That was back in the 70s, I think.
Right. So if the people at the top, meaning the Joint Chiefs of Staff, right, if the people at the top, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, are going about this wrong, who replaces the Joint Chiefs of Staff? Or is that just a lifetime, you're in there for life, like you're put on the Supreme Court?
No, Chief of Staff.
I mean, if Milley's doing a terrible job, who replaces
it? He is actually no. The chief of, you're talking about the commanding officer, not the chief of staff. Chief of staff is a guy who runs this. It's like the guy in the White House. The chief of staff's the guy who runs the entire staff. He answers directly to the president. Okay, the chief of staff in the military, in a large unit, like a regiment or something like that. He takes, when a general comes, the commanding general comes in, he has a chief of staff, and he takes care of all the people on the actual general staff, and they disseminate all the orders and this and that and the other.
Right.
The commanding officer can be replaced by the president at any time. Makes no difference.
What I meant was Milley and the big Joint Chiefs of Staff. If Milley's taking the military in the wrong way, Biden wants him to take them in a woke direction. But if Trump comes in tomorrow as president of the United States and he's unhappy with that, who does he have the authority to say, Milley, pack your bags and go back to boot camp?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Well, what he'll do, what he'll do is he'll give him a chance to resign. If he'll give him a chance to resign, and if he refuses, then he will fire him. Yeah, he absolutely does. And I guarantee if Trump walked in the White House tomorrow, he'd probably be one of the first ones he would get rid of. Yeah. After what he did.
He'll go after AJ Barr too. There's a huge number of people that I would anticipate that we would see be removed immediately. How he'll go about it, under what laws may deem him to go under as to how he would proceed with it. But I think I would agree with Jerry saying giving everybody that moment to leave on their own reconnaissance. But doesn't mean it would happen. And then upon that,
well,
hey, you're fired.
They do that to soften the blow. That's the only reason they do that. They tell him you're going or you're going. It makes no difference. And they give him a chance. They give him a chance to save face. Whether he would do that with Miley or not, I have no idea. I have no idea, because Miley is a fucking traitor. Somebody said it before. Miley is a freaking traitor.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think I even had posted said that. I mean, from the point in time when they all followed President Trump over to the church, whenever all hell started to break loose, and Trump was still president, look how many people said I should have never went with him there. That right there showed the true colors of what we were gonna what we would be entangled with. And I knew at that point the direction of this country was going to fall on its face. You know, I knew the end was in. Another reason why I sent you, Dave, last night, and you, Jerry, that little questionnaire ceremony that was going on in Washington, when the question came up across the aisle, where they had, I can't remember his name, that was in place on the stand. I did send you something. If you didn't get it, I don't know why. They kept asking me over and over, is Joe Biden a duly elected president? And they would only answer by saying, we recognize him as the president of the United States. No one would say that he was duly elected. They kept asking him over and over, would you say that they were duly? Nobody would make comment, which tells you.
But isn't the answer to that no? Because, well, technically no, because Pence certified an election in the Senate, but refused to allow states like Texas, when Ted Cruz stood up and said, I'm from Ted Cruz, here are the results from the state of Texas, and we want to certify it. I mean, we want to protest it. He refused to hear any protests. And because of that, he certified an election that I want to see him on the stand, and I want to be the prosecuting attorney and go, do you think that all of this could have been avoided if you simply moved to the protest phase, or were you going to shove it up our asses, excuse my English, because you had a plan before you walked in the room to shove it up our asses? Excuse my English again. Go ahead, Michael.
I was just listening.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly what he had. He was never going to let that. He was never going to let Trump win.
No.
And that idiot says he wants to be president. You know, I mean, come on. Well, I mean, what brain dead moron is this? He thinks he's going to be president at some point. The point is that our elected officials who are supposed to represent us failed us miserably and continue to, and I believe it's on purpose. I'm sorry, just too many things. There's just too much of just bad policy, bad everything. And if you listen hard enough, they tell you they're screwing you over, and they don't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so.
No, you're actually 100% right, Jerry, because you got what we used to call it the Rhodes narrative, where Randy Rhodes pretty much said on every broadcast until he decided he couldn't do political broadcasts anymore for a while, that not only did they tell us what they were going to do, the Democrats, they told us how they were going to do it, when they were going to do it, and then they went and did it exactly like they said they were going to do it. And we just kind of sat there, and in some cases he's right, we just kind of sat there and let him do it, and then we sat there on our thumbs going, you know, what happened?
The Republicans do the exact same thing, Dave. The Republicans do this whole impeachment thing. You think what's his name wanted to actually do this impeachment thing? No, you don't want to do it.
No,
but he's being forced to. So this is what will happen. They'll go through the whole damn process, get to the Senate, and the Senate will probably find him not guilty, or maybe they'll censure him or something. It'll make no difference because they're all just going to be arguing with each other and talking about how Joe Biden's innocent, Joe Biden's not innocent, Joe Biden's the country's going to be completely divided on it like it always is, and not one damn thing will change. And if they do manage to take him out of office, God help us with Kamala Harris.
I don't see them taking him out of office in the Senate only because Trump had two impeachments that went to the Senate. One was a Democrat Senate, one was a Republican Senate. So if anything, when Biden gets there, the two sides of the aisle are going to be sitting there going, we didn't let We didn't boot out Trump this time. We didn't boot out Trump that time. So you kind of owe us not to boot out Biden. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's a little more language than that, but it's, hey, right now it's tied 1-1.
If you look at it like I do, and I look at it, it's two wings on the same bird. And they're always making deals to make themselves enrich themselves or give themselves more power or whatever. I'm not sure that's that far out of the realm, what you just said. I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm not up there. I can't tell you for sure. But what I can say is they're all in bed together. And,
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, just think about who's been on the plane to the island.
No. Orrin Hatch and Ted Kennedy, when they were both in the Senate, played both aisles with each other, both aisles against each other, and
Yeah, I know who they are. I didn't really pay attention to politics back then, but actually, they were part of the thing that. They're the part of the reason United States is the way it is now. They've been working on this for many, many years, long before I was born, I think. Long before pretty much everybody on this planet is born, if you want to really look back. Or not everybody on this planet, but everybody in this country. So I think there's deals being made as we speak. I do. And I think there's people in the House and Senate that are more than willing to make these deals. Kevin McCarthy, to stay in power, made all kinds of deals. We're now finding out he's not keeping them. People are pissed off at him again. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to continue to be the Speaker of the House because he'll make a bunch of more deals that and promises he won't keep. That's just my opinion. But
I read
that's it's easy to figure out once you know the script. I mean, it's the same crap over and over again.
Right.
So I don't know. But I asked Michael Anthony. He knows more than I do.
Well, I also
the
read.
Thing I would say about Kevin is he's going to have to play both sides of the fences, because if not, the damage impact against the people of the United States and the actions that this machine will take, there's going to have to be some give or take and play-by-play shit show from both sides. So while we're pissed off at him, which rightly so, we see things in a direction of how things were to be managed, and not all the time can management run and manage to keep people happy. If your life is threatened and you have to take a risk to protect it, and you take that risk and you eliminate somebody, you will be judged by many people for it. But if you saved 1,000 people by doing that, you did the world a favor because you saved many more. So it's kind of the same thing. And we have a lot we can lose. And I think they're weighing how they play their side out. And Kevin is on that fence. And yes, you're right. 15 times up to vote, many deals. Somebody's actually, I think, dictating policy as to how they want this to proceed, because their concerns are more for the people. Now, I'm not saying clear and out that Trump's part of it, but if you go back to the floor when they were going back and forth the aisles and he couldn't get the votes to get in, everybody was on their phone. And 3 important key people were on the phone. But who were they on the phone with? Who were they having these discussions with? Because it wasn't that they needed to have discussions with anybody, but somebody on the right was making sure that certain things were put in place, because every time they hung up the phone, they had an argument or an example of how and why he would have to do this, abide by that, and do this and abide by that in order to get that to take the next step to the vote. It took 15 times. It finally came over with success. And now everyone's saying, with all these, and no restrictions. He's just up there having fun. But I truly think the restrictions are coming from the white hats. There's plenty of very wealthy people who are, and I'll say this with clarity to everybody, angels don't have to have wings to be an angel. If you are a good person and you do good things for people, you should be considered to be an angel for helping out humanity in some way. Same typical kind of scenario. Nevertheless, I think that's why we're going to see a shit show on both sides, because it's a time thing, a time capsule. And if this time capsule opens too soon, it's going to take down the wealth of America. And everybody's of the wealth is trying to protect. That's why Elon Musk, they were going after him. And he wasn't the right guy to go after, and they realized it with Starlinks and all those things. That was one of the other things I think I sent you about what was going on with Starlinks and what was going on. This is all connected. Everything is connected. The money, the white hats are trying to prevail for the possibility that Trump can walk back into that office. So here we are. How many months we got left of 2024, Dave? November 5th, 2024? We're looking at 14 months, 15 months, something like that. That anything could happen. Anything could happen. And I think we're all on the right side, grasping for whatever we can get our hands on to keep anything afloat. So I would suspect that Ukraine will probably get that $24 billion. The deal that just took place in Iran about the trade-off of prisoners, $6 billion, it was $16 billion. $10 billion was released early, not told by anybody, not voted by or through anybody, all for weaponry drones. So what they were doing was paying out hush money. And why? Because it all goes back to 9/11. And why they went over there into the desert and what they were truly over there for. And it wasn't even about controlling the oil. And it wasn't, and we know it was all a farce about weapons of mass destruction. When you get into these scenarios, that's why we are where we are. And it all circles back. Yeah, Peppermint Patty, the big circle back, back to Kevin. Somebody has to be in place so we can utilize them as the blame game. Because if we are the blame game on them, that makes it look like they are in the middle somewhere, trying not to tramp on any toes from either side. But it all comes down to, how do we protect the people of America? I mean, nobody wants to lose their 401 totally. Nobody wants to lose Social Security because they decide to drain it. And when these people will go to any extreme to do anything they want in order to get you to nail.
Does McCarthy have any? Does either one of you two know? Does McCarthy have any plan or desire to be the man in the Oval Office one day? I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about him to know whether or not he could get there.
I don't know what they're thinking. It's like saying that Gavin Newsom has the same opportunity, a chance. Possibly he does.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, we all know that Nancy Pelosi flaunted all the time that she was third in line and couldn't wait until she ended up being president.
Well, she announced she's coming back to run again.
She's in. Yeah. She hasn't resigned yet. She resigned as speaker, but she's still. Yeah, what I've been saying is that she's not gonna. You're not gonna see her run for re-election in the House. You're gonna see her. Dianne Feinstein is either going to resign because she can't do the job anymore. And I have to be nice because she's a nice lady. I've met her a few times, but she does, she needs to be gone. And Nancy will use right. But Nancy will use that to her advantage, that she's the the Democrat representative from San Francisco. Her nephew is governor. So if Feinstein leaves early, that gets Pelosi hopefully into the Senate to finish out Feinstein's term, run for re-election. And if the Democrats win the Senate in 2024, you will see Nancy Pelosi up as Senate Majority Leader. Not that that's any more senior in getting to the presidency than Speaker of the House, but I don't think you'll see her back as Speaker of the House, even if the Democrats control the House.
It's what this lady says goes.
Who's
don't
that
kid
lady?
yourself.
Who is
you don't
that
even
lady?
know who this is, and you do politics.
I couldn't really
All
tell.
right, one more time for you, David.
It's reflecting. Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Newland.
Yeah, she is the one that is blood to all these critical race, white supremacists, New World Order. This is the one that is running your White House.
Okay.
This is the person. This is her. I told it on your show, Jerry, a few weeks ago. This is all coming from a woman. It's her. I guarantee you I'm not wrong.
Okay.
It will come out eventually, like everything always does. She is the one that is getting the information and dictating it to the administration. Everything, including Ukraine.
Is she higher within the administration or within whatever the people? Is she
placement? Not really election. It's selection.
No. I just mean, is she in her position? Are those people in the White House listening to her more than they're listening to whoever Barack Obama is meeting with at the White House and telling them what to do?
Listen, you could have Bugs Bunny in the fucking White House. And if he came over with the papers from the people that are supplying him to her and he handed them to Joe, they would do it and nail to it.
No, I know they would. Okay.
It doesn't. This is the person. This is who the contact is. This is the direct line. This is the link. This is nothing missing. This is that link. I promise you, I am not wrong.
Okay. You have not been wrong before, I don't think.
I haven't been crazy accurate, but I will say one thing, Dave. When you say that, in ways you may be right. But the point is this: this is what matters when it comes down to the dictation, the authoritarians. This is them telling her telling them. This is that connection. This is that that's coming over on the wire, and she's dictating it up. This comes from the think tanks. She's receiving from a lot of things, and then she hands it out. This is what everybody's got to concentrate on.
It has become obvious to me that the House and Senate are like the workers. Barack Obama is like middle management, basically. Joe is the figurehead. And whoever's above, you say this lady, she's telling Barack what to do. Barack tells Joe, blah, blah, blah. Or whoever's handling Joe, because Joe can't remember shit anyway. And then whoever's at the very top, who is the ultra rich, the ultra, whatever you want to call them, New World Order, Soros, you name
Obama.
it, yeah.
Well, I mean, it plays along with that.
I have been saying this for some time now because it's become obvious that if somebody is running Joe, then it's obvious Joe can't run himself and he can't run a country. So somebody has to be running him. Where are they getting their orders from? Well, you look around, you see Obama's been to the White House how many freaking times? Hundreds. I don't know, whatever. Okay. And everybody thinks it's him that is giving the orders. And Obama ain't that high up in the food chain, so it's not him. So, and there has to be one person giving Obama the orders, and then a group of people giving whoever's giving that whoever's giving that person, what you say is this lady here, okay? So there's a string of people, but Obama, Joe is like a figurehead in the House and Senate are like, the bumbling workers, basically,
right,
who just yell and scream at each other and try to get reelected, so they're part of it.
The person in the White House, I think, who is telling Joe what to do, and you both are going to laugh at me when I say this, is his wife, Jill. Only in the sense that he's got dementia. Well, he's got dementia, and usually in that situation, there's one or two relatives. There's usually one relative you listen to the most because they're the closest. They're the one you remember because they've been with you through all your life. I'm not saying that she's making policy decisions and telling him, but Obama or whoever is above Obama is going to Obama, and Obama's going to Jill and saying, you need to break this down so Joe understands it. And that's it. I mean, she's not making policy decisions in any way.
I get it, but I don't
it could be Michael Obama. It could very well be Michael Obama.
They don't
Black Swan.
The reason they appointed the reason that they appointed Biden is because he's easily handled. Okay, and I don't think they necessarily have to tell Biden to do stuff. I mean, think about it. They write a speech, they hand it to him. He completely muddles it up, and nobody knows what the hell he's talking about. Okay, they won't let him out after a certain time of night. Okay, if he has to sign something and they need TV cameras, they can do that. They can tell the press to shut up. We're not going to answer questions. All that kind of stuff. So Joe doesn't necessarily have to be told.
They turn Joe's mic
needs
off.
To be saying, well, you're going to go and sign this today. You're going to go and give this speech today. Try not to trip over anything, and we'll be good. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't think Joe has a whole hell of a lot to do with being president. Myself,
he doesn't.
I think he was installed simply because he's so corrupted. First of all, even if his mind was perfect, he is so corrupted that he's easily handled by other corrupt people. Okay, because he's the one who's going to end up in jail. If they want him in jail, they'll send him to jail. Okay, so now he's got either dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever he's got. Okay, he's even easier to handle. It's just.
Right. Oh, of course.
For the people actually that you see handling him, it's a pain in the ass. But the people behind the scenes, they're laughing their ass off and enjoying every bit of it.
And they probably only send him to do.
I don't know what they're doing.
They probably only send him to do certain things. Send him out to do a lot of. Well, he thinks he's I really have to give my respect to those military people standing behind him in Alaska when he was doing his speech there, because I couldn't. Every single one of them probably wanted to bust out laughing over how embarrassed they were with their commander in chief.
We make fun of them, and probably rightfully so. But in the end, this is a serious thing we got here, because there's no way he's fit to be president. Like when Trump was president, they bring out some third-rate freaking psychologist on every show on MSNBC, CNN, you name it. Okay, to talk about how unfit Joe is for president. You ain't seen one doing that for Joe Biden. Okay, that's not the main problem. The main problem isn't Joe Biden. The main problem is who is running Joe Biden, and who is above Joe Biden. Now we know the regular players, but it's the ones well above everybody else that is the ones causing all these problems in this country. And they've done a hell of a good job of it.
Yeah, it's a big circle. It's a big network, but just keep in mind that game's being played on both sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let me read in a comment from. Let me read in a comment from Brandy Rhodes, because I can't flash comments on the profile. We will not make it to 2024, to the 2024 election. We will be in an international war, or an assassin will take out the top runner of the Republicans. That's Randy's prediction. But again, a lot of people are saying that they think that there are lots of assassination
Either
attempts
that or they're
on.
going to come to Randy's house and arrest his ass for, his remarks. So, and the truth is, they want all of us who are against them. So that possibility really does exist. We may be the first ones that they come after, to make us the example. I don't know. But I mean, I get where you guys are. And, it's hard to wake up and deal with this on a daily basis. But, if we stay strong, we at least leave some integrity out there for the public to have faith and hope with. And that's the best we can do. All the negative, things, we're going to have them. And we're going to have to deal with many more for sure. We're just at that pinnacle. They want to get through this November primary bullshit, of course. And then the gloves are off. The gloves are going to be off. I'm telling you.
What do you both think? Because evidently, I believe it was yesterday or today, depending on where it was in the international. Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Here's what I can tell you really quick. Real quick, Dave. I have no doubt that bad shit's about to happen. It's in the air. You can't miss it. Okay, we're living in a shit show. But this is just me personally. If I don't live with some kind of fucking hope, there's no point for me to go on. I got enough bad shit going on in my fucking head that if I start thinking like like that. Now I was surprised they didn't try to kill him the last time when he was president. I was, but he's here now. This ain't Pollyanna. I'm well aware of the bad crap happening in the world. It's just I can't live with we're gonna just lose. I can't. That just ain't what I'm made of.
Yeah, that's why I don't do shows with certain people anymore.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
with that kind of negativity, I just don't want.
Right. No. I understand, and there gets to be a point where a lot of people don't.
That's not what I'm saying.
Don't. But
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Everybody gets their opinion. That's fine. What I am saying is, if it takes me picking up a rifle and dying for my country, I'll go out that way, even if it's useless. But I'll be damned if I'm just going to give up.
You know what? Thank you for that. Because let me tell you something, Jerry. Many will run out their back fucking door before picking up a rifle that sat in front of the glass and said that they would. They'll be the first mother effers in this running out the other door for their life instead of saying, "I stand for my country, I stand for human dignity, and I stand for my humanity within the United States of America." It's the ones that bring up this bullshit and these comments that are deep like that are the most troublesome to the United States of America.
Well, I'm not going to get into that, but what I am going to say is you're right. First of all,
that's okay. You're right.
These Facebook heroes you see on Facebook and all of social media, they're usually, when the battle starts, you don't see them.
No, you won't.
They're only there when they ain't going to get hurt.
Nope.
You won't. They'll be inside their house deleting everything from their computer.
Well,
I'll be at the front door of my house handing them my computers going, "Here, take this all and leave."
I don't give a damn about Facebook kicking me off. I don't give I used to. Nope. I did. I don't, because and I'll tell you why, because it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just going to go someplace else. Because I'm not going to shut up, first of all. I mean, that's we got too many people out there that are afraid to speak. Just to speak. Open their mouth and give their opinion in any like my way I do it is way different than the way you do it. I curse a lot and stuff like that. I don't care. Just give your opinion. But we got too many people not doing that. And that, to me, is hurting the country just as much. I mean, there's a lot of things out there on social media that are hurting this country worse than anything else. And I'm not going to get into all of that. But what I am saying is that we have to, if nothing else, have a plan for yourself, because this whole coming, like the three of us, the chances of us ever coming together to go fight somebody is slim. It is.
Agreed.
We're far apart. There's money involved, all kinds of shit. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we do the best we can, what we got, and you make certain decisions in your head on what you will do, and for right now, and for whatever happens in the future, and you once you make those decisions, you have to follow them. They're not easy decisions by any stretch. None of it is. But that's what you have to do. And I think, I'm down on it a lot too. Every time I hear
but it's like you said.
they say it's going to get worse, I put a knife in my gut. But you know what? There's no way to deny it's going to get worse. And it's very
It's
simple.
like you said.
It gets worse every freaking day since Obama first got in office. It has gotten immeasurably worse every fucking day. So how can it not get worse tomorrow?
Right, but it's like you said that, you don't want to be told every day that it's going to get worse. I don't want to be told that it's going to get worse every day, because then I will sit there and figure out try to start thinking about how much worse it's going to get. And I just, I don't.
But the thing is, Dave, if we don't talk about the things that could happen that are worse, that's like hiding your head in the sand.
No.
I'm done with the Pollyanna, yay, America, go. I'm for that, for the people of America, their innovation, all that crap. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Right.
But as far as our government goes, we can't stop talking about this shit because it'll just go away.
Okay.
It's that simple.
What they're hoping for.
There are people already out there who think that everything is perfect.
Right.
Right.
No.
You can never forget one iota of what we have experienced through this entirety of this ordeal, and the ones that were installed prior to it. Right. It's all part of that mechanism. As now more people are calling it the machine, wash, rinse, repeat, whatever. It's that agenda. It's that scenario. It's those slogans, but it's factual. And Jerry, I say this, I got more respect for you to know that you'll stand willingly to take a shot to save humanity than I have for a lot more people that, are out there and that don't do enough. They don't participate enough. They do have that fear. They're afraid to talk. They want Christmas taken away again. It's like they're waiting for a new lockdown. I mean, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's disappointing. It really is.
The biggest thing that gets me.
On Facebook, and this is like one of the most things that drives me nuts about the most on social media is this exact question. When is somebody going to do something? I see it all the time. We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you are somebody. What are you going to do? It's not like you have to lead an army. You don't have to do that. You really don't. Okay? But how hard is it? I've asked people to come on our show. I can't. I don't look right. I'm not. I'm blah blah blah. I don't want to say blah. They got every excuse in the world. Now you can like me, dislike me on my show, on here, anywhere you see me. That's fine. I've been. It's been years since I've cared. Okay, let's just say that. But you know what, folks? If you're going to ask when is somebody going to do something, um, shouldn't you be that someone that leads the way or at least sets some kind of example for just your family or your neighbors or somebody, even if they think you're a kook?
Yeah.
I'm
Everybody.
tired of people asking when somebody else is
Absolutely.
going to do something. You should do something. Simple. You do something. Dave has a disease. He's on here twice a week, and he's been on for a long time doing the same goddamn thing, and he's doing the best he can with what he fucking got, and he's using his big mouth like I do to say what he thinks. Michael Anthony, the same thing. Okay? And the guys
Michael
with
Anthony's
us on the American Rebellion, the same thing. And there's many others.
Michael
But
Anthony's the
there's
man
not
who's
enough.
responsible for me doing this. Michael Anthony is the man who told me.
Damn it, now we know who to blame, Dave.
Well,
Thank you.
three, maybe almost 4 years ago now.
Always remember, it wasn't for nothing.
No, it wasn't for nothing. Michael was on, and he was doing his broadcast, usually by himself. He was on in the 6 o'clock hour, and so was Stu Peters and Lucretia Hughes and a lot of other people that aren't doing their stuff on Facebook anymore. I could send him into 150 groups, and I would almost every night. They never bothered me for sending it in. And then one day he and I got into a chat, and I said, I think I'm ready to go do internet radio and tie that into what I'm doing on Facebook. And he said, no, do this. And, you know, we have a lot of fun. We don't always have the right answers.
True.
We don't profess to have the right answers.
Let me tell you something. In the end, I think Michael said it. There's going to come a time where you got to stop talking and we got to start doing something other than what we're doing now. But I don't feel like some, what do they call him? Keyboard warrior. I don't feel like any of that shit. I started doing this. The main reason I started doing this in the first place and making videos and doing all that stuff, even before the lives came out, was because I wanted people to know that they ain't alone. There's a lot of people that feel the same way. Because at one point, before my first video, I felt like I was the only one pissed off all day because of this shit. Okay? After the 2020 election, I damn near quit doing this because I was just so down and disgusted with the whole thing. And I don't know, something changed with the show. We have a lot more fun now, and it's better. But we still don't hide from the problems. And I think that the problems need to be talked about as often as possible, because otherwise they go away and everybody forgets.
Yeah.
I tell people that I like to get people like you and Michael and anybody else that wants to come on, and we just talk, and sometimes we yell and scream at each other like we did at the beginning of this broadcast, and that was my fault. But it's usually my fault when the yelling and screaming starts. Anyway,
if my wife heard you say I was yelling and screaming at the beginning of this broadcast, she'd fall down on the floor laughing at you if she heard that, because that ain't yelling from me. Take my word for it. I apologize for it because it's your show and I shouldn't have done that.
No. It's my show, and you should have done that.
No.
Well,
no,
listen, guys. You guys can figure this out. I got to go eat. I'm starving.
All right, Michael.
Thanks for having me with you guys, Jerry. I'll try to come on with you on your next show. I don't ignore you. Sometimes I'm that guy that looks like shit and feels like shit after 12 hours.
Yeah.
I get.
And you're welcome back. You're welcome back Thursday if you want, Michael. Yeah. You're welcome back Thursday if you want. If you're around, if we can get you a link that works.
I might not be where I'm at, so I'll try to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. All right. Always a pleasure, Michael. Yeah.
I'll send you a link tomorrow if you want to come on. Just come on. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I just come on.
You gone?
I just look for the link. Yeah, I just look for the link.
Yeah, I mean,
tell people
what,
where
Dave,
you're
it's
going to be
important
tomorrow
that,
night.
7 p.m. Eastern on the American Rebellion page. We do a show 4 nights a week, 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes we talk about politics, but we talk about just about every single thing under the sun you can think of, and some of it is it baffles me too.
Yeah.
But thing is, I'm not saying what we do is the most important thing in any of all the things being done, behind the scenes or whatever, but it has its place, and that's what we do, and it's a lot more than most people, quite frankly. And I think it's important enough to keep doing. Let's put it that way. There are days, and I'm sure you've had these probably more than once, where it's like, why bother? I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this. None of this. It's all, whatever.
I have it on both sides.
But
what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do when I got a bunch of people on? Then I turn off the mics. I walk away from the desk for a minute and I go, what the hell did we do for all that time? And then I tell people, I hope you found one thought from the whole time that you watched that got you thinking about something. Doesn't have to be politics. I hope people that got a truck that needs to be repaired, go watch your DIY Jerry's Garage videos and learn something.
Well, that's another thing, because like our people, they've been around for so long. You're kind of invested in their lives, as they are in ours, right?
Yep.
And so when they have a problem, you do what you can. Hopefully, they feel better or something. I don't know, but
we
don't get a lot of views. None of us do. But you know what? In the end, as Dave said, it's just this simple. Maybe somebody gets something out of it, and hopefully, that's enough.
I mean,
you know what? That's all we can hope for. And I was the one that, probably, at least that I know, against the conspiracy theories, and even though I had questions about a lot of stuff that didn't seem right, but I was like, now you're looking at stuff that's coming true that people have been saying for however many years now or whatnot, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to ignore. And maybe we should stop ignoring it and at least look into it.
Yep. That's what we try to do.
So, there's that. Anyway, Dave, I got to get going because I got to take my dogs out. And
take your dogs out.
Yeah, I got to take the dogs out, but they're
take your dogs out.
One of them's whining in the other room. So I appreciate you letting me come on.
I'm gonna have you come over. I'm gonna have you come over one of these days and help me soundproof a room where you can't hear the dogs barking, because I hardly ever hear your dogs bark.
They don't, unless something is outside. That's like, usually it's probably a deer or something walking right by the house. Then they go off. The red one that's laying next to me in the chair, she's just insane. That's all there is to it. I don't know. I don't know. I quit trying to figure it out, because she ain't right in the head. She ain't. But she will, when she goes off, your dogs ain't nothing. She just howls in over and over and over again. It's like unreal. It's unreal. And then like 2:00 in the morning, I'll let him out in the yard, and she's out there howling at a deer that just run in the woods because you can hear the deer crash into the woods, and waking up like everybody within 7 miles. So we got that going for us.
Yep. All right, sir. Right, you're always welcome. You're welcome back Thursday if you want, and you might see me down there tomorrow. You never know, but I will tell everybody to be there. Once again, the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. downstairs on the American Rebellion blogger page. Somewhere over on Rumble. One of these days you'll find it there. Jerry, always a pleasure.
Thank you. You have a great night, Dave.
You too, Jerry. All right, the American Rebellion, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, so adjust your time accordingly. Michael Anthony is always on, different times, sometimes the same time that we're on with Boogie with the Bull, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. But, my rule of thumb is that if I'm on and somebody else is on and you want to watch the other one, then watch me as on the podcast, And if you want to, share it around Facebook wherever you can, because if I share it more than 4 or 5 times as a podcast, they make it a pain in the rear end on Facebook. If you want to take it off of Facebook, or take it somewhere other than Facebook and share it, go to the YouTube channel, Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and share it from there. Also, Boogie with the Bull now has a group over on Gab.com. We have a group on TruthSocial.com. We have a group on StreetLock.com. We have a group on American Patriot Social Network.com, and a lot of other .coms. Now we just got to get those groups going and running. But a lot of people on Facebook are telling me that they're on Gab, so go over to Gab and join the Boogie with the Bull group over on Gab. You see the link posted all the time. Just go over and join. On Facebook, on X. I was going to say on Facebook. On X, used to be Twitter. You can follow at Boogie WT Bull. That's the Boogie with the Bull Twitter, now X profile. So go over there. Robin Brunson, I will send you the address in a few minutes. And Randy Rhodes, you're welcome to come on to the program, okay? Nobody's picking on anybody. You're welcome to come on to the program anytime that you want, but I know that you're busy doing genealogy a lot, so you can't come on and devote full attention to a broadcast while you're devoting full attention to your genealogy work. Anybody who needs the best genealogy work available, as I scratch my eye, go to All Roads Lead to Home group over here on Facebook and join the group. Take a look around. If you're looking for a genealogy service, Randy Rhodes is the man to talk to. He will give you 5 generations in 15 minutes, and that will tell you whether or not you might have some interest. Everybody's looking for royalty, and he does his best to find that you're connected to royalty. So he'll give you, like I said, 5 generations in 15 minutes for free. Then it's $250 a month. And the only reason I tell people it's $250 a month after that is you can't find anybody who does it. Basically, he's willing to give you 24/7 service for $250 a month, and he's always doing it. I can't name the name of the group of Southerners that he is involved with, but he is now a colonel. They gave him a military rank, a colonel, doing genealogy for members of their state, of their southern states. Now 6 of them. Go to the All Roads Lead to Home page here on Facebook, and you'll get more information on that. Or one of these days, we'll try to get Randy on, and we'll go to town. Thank you, Robin Brunson, for watching. Randy Rhodes for watching. Scrolling. Walt Coons, always a pleasure to have you watching. And let's scroll back. and make sure I think we got everybody. Oh, McCullough, my buddy, thank you for watching. Bobby Maupin for coming in and watching. Don Marie for watching. Don, you're welcome to come on anytime. Bobby, you are. Oak, you are. And William Grant, you're always welcome to come on. If you don't see the link on the screen, let me know and we'll flash it or get it to you. Susan Kraft, thank you for watching. And one of these days, we'd like to get you on and get some insight from you. Karen Hackley, my buddy in Texas, thank you for watching. Like I said, Karen is dedicated. She watches when she can. If she can't watch it live, then she watches it as a podcast and she shares it all over Facebook. And if she can watch it, then she shares it live while she's watching it on Facebook. So we appreciate people who do that. Anyway, it is, let me scroll the clock back up, 8:55. We want to be done by 9 o'clock so that my wife can go to bed because tomorrow is a full time for her. And it's almost bedtime. Also, General Hospital might be posted, and we want to watch that before we go to bed, as well as some other things. So this is the part of the program where we will tell you that you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, which is a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own everything associated with the show. If we use your copyright by mistake, we will apologize profusely, but tonight we didn't use that. We're just letting you know. We're just letting you know that. So we'll slide up. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end just short of 2 hours. And we'll come down one more time. This Boogie with the